When I saw Denji and Asa riding off into the distance on a glorious chainsaw motorcycle, for some reason this song just popped into my head. Telling you, man, this is going to be the greatest power couple in shonen history, man. So where to even begin with this chapter? This chapter was so ridiculous that, like, I don't even know. I guess I'll just try to go in order here. So the thing was, in the last chapter, we ended on the cliffhanger of the secondary Chainsaw Man character showing up, but not revealing his identity. And there's still a lot of questions of who this character could possibly be. Could the fear of Chainsaw Man itself manifest a secondary Chainsaw Man-like devil? Could it be a different devil that could manipulate itself to look like Chainsaw Man? What is actually going on with this character? And we don't get to see it. This character is only in the first panel. Asa begins to wake up. She sort of sees it for a second. She sees that there's two Chainsaw Men, and then the characters are pushed out of the Hell Dimension, it seems like, with these giant tentacle penis things with spikes on the end of them. I don't know what's going on, but they're back in the real world. So, unfortunately, that Chainsaw Man is still a mystery. And I would probably be pretty annoyed by that if this chapter wasn't so awesome. Because it seems like we're essentially building to this high-speed chase between Denji and whatever these tentacle things are that are following him. And so far, the build-up has been excellent. Now, there's also the event of Asa's, I guess you could say, character development and how far she's come. And probably the best thing to cure depression is seeing somebody that's even more pathetic than you are have a determinate reason to keep living and the positivity to do so. Not that Denji doesn't deal with absolute depression himself, but, like, I love the the reasoning of Asa seeing somebody like Chainsaw Man, who obviously, again, she doesn't know that Chainsaw Man is Denji, so she's just referring to him as Chainsaw Man. And so she has this moment where he's kind of knocked out, and you have Yoru who's tormenting to kill Chainsaw Man in this moment. And this has been Yoru's goal from the start, and it's the entire reason that she has assimilated with Asa to find Chainsaw Man, kill him, and then they'll go their separate ways, or so she says. But at the same time, Asa and Yoru have really learned to synchronize with one another and use each other for the benefit of both. Not use each other, really. I guess you could say that. But they've really learned how to work simultaneously with one another, using both of their benefits and skills to kind of help the overall situation. So the idea of losing that connection at this point, I think, is something deep down that neither of them really want, but it's something they're going to keep attesting to one another to kind of keep up that image. But also Asa taking full autonomy of herself in that situation and kind of trusting her own judgment instead of just listening to Yoru, I think is something big for her character. But also the fact that she, kind of found this like backward ass reason to kind of not fall into her own darkness and depression, where it's like, well, if this guy, this disgusting thing that just like wants to go around and like fuck something, if this thing has reason for living and can still live, then I, definitely should still be able to kind of keep living myself. And hey, again, like I said, whatever reasoning that you need to give yourself in order to keep living is good enough of a reason. And it's just hilarious that for Asa, it took to seeing somebody that's on Denji's level to have this kind of hope and value in the future that, something great could possibly happen to him. That greatness, of course, being getting laid. But, like, it's enough, you know what I mean? It's enough. And so Asa's like, well, if he can keep living, then obviously I can keep living too. I love how she kind of, like, puts that together and also decides to revive him and doesn't listen to Yoru. So Asa's, as ridiculous and hilarious as the situation is, it's showing the progression of Asa and her being able to trust herself and to make these decisions and to, kind of decide her own reasoning for things rather than listening to Yoru or, listening to, the people around her, the fellow students that picked on her and everything. She's kind of taking back her own ability to choose, which is kind of cool. And I like that. And so she revives Denji, and Denji, grabs her, tries to get her out of there, tries to do the heroic thing. And I love how halfway through he's like, actually, I might not be able to save you. Just keeping it real, which is something I always appreciate about Denji. He always just keeps it real, man. Like, He's not a subtle character, and he will always let you know what exactly the situation is while it's happening, regardless of how it makes you feel. And that's one of the reasons why we love him. But of course, Asa is a attractive girl, so he's gonna try to save her, you know. And we get to this moment that just reminds us once again what kind of a simp Denji really is, because Asa points out you should steal a motorcycle because that's gonna get us out of here a lot quicker. And Denji's like, that's a good idea, but that's a girl driving the motorcycle. I couldn't steal from a girl. Not even somebody he knows, you know, not even somebody that he has a chance with, just a girl riding a motorcycle. That would be theft. That's wrong. But over here, there's a dude driving a motorcycle. Well, fuck that guy. And so we are here with the gentleman, the gentleman Denji, or the simp Denji, or just the Denji that we always knew and loved. I don't know what it is, but yeah. So he kicks the dude off of his motorcycle, jacks it, and then I suppose how Asa's power works in this moment is it goes by ownership, right? So I guess stealing it means that it's theirs now. So because of that, she's able to turn the motorcycle itself into a weapon, which sprouts a giant chainsaw off the front of it. And so we literally have Denji as Chainsaw Man driving a chainsaw motorcycle. And what's more badass than that? And not to mention the fact that Asa here is part of the reason why this exists. And so the two of them are working together. And I've been saying for so long that this is going to be the greatest power couple of all time once Denji and Asa officially get together. And this is just the building blocks, my friend. If they are going the distance, I believe in Denji, man. I believe that he's going to go the distance. He's going to go where no simp has ever gone before. And Asa is going to probably lead the relationship, but in a great way, because she's gaining more autonomy over herself. She's gaining more confidence. She's being able to make these decisions for herself, overcoming all that insecurity and darkness, while Denji might be getting the greatest joy of his life. But there is that sort of, that little tack in it that is Nayuta that might be a definite, consistent cock block here. But beyond that, I don't know where we're at in terms of the Falling Devil. I don't know if the secondary Chainsaw Man has basically destroyed her, if she's regenerating. I don't really know what is happening here. This chapter was so fun and ridiculous when it comes to Denji and Asa. I kind of didn't think about what is happening behind them, behind these tentacles. But I gotta imagine that this action sequence is probably gonna last a couple of more chapters, as it should. And I'm really curious to see how the abilities of Denji and Asa together, like working together, kind of continue to expand, and then all of the ridiculous shit that we could possibly get. Because I believe that a chainsaw motorcycle is just the tip of the iceberg. I think that things can get a lot more crazy than this. And I can't wait for it, man. But yeah, this chapter read quick, as all of the Chainsaw Man chapters tend to do, but that's just part of the reason is the chapter has a lot of action, so there's not a lot of dialogue, and also, you know, it's only so many pages long, so we get these kind of little morsels, you know, every couple of weeks. But I think if you go back and read the chapters all together, it does flow very, very well. Yeah, I'm just excited to see more of this. So let me know what you thought of Chainsaw Man Chapter 129. What do you think about the Denji Asa power couple, and the mysteries of the secondary Chainsaw Man, and what is actually happening with that? If you have any theories or ideas, you know, I'm not the best at remembering all of the Chainsaw Man lore along the way, so if anyone wants to kind of like throw in ideas or concepts of what this could possibly be building towards, or what it could possibly be, would love to hear that down below as well. Beyond that, guys, I just had fun with the chapters, so let me know what you thought. Give the video a like and a comment to help it in the algorithm, because it will really help me out. If you want to support the channel on a deeper level, I do have a Patreon, channel memberships, and a merch store linked down below. I'd really appreciate it if you did. It would help me out a lot. Beyond that, guys, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll talk to you next time.